What is the secret? How do you go from being devastated to being full again? The real secret is, like Viktor Frankl says in logotherapy, the secret is you find meaning. Even in the darkest hour, you find meaning. And when you see meaning to the darkness, then you can survive it. And you can actually thrive until you have a full light again, till you have a full moon. And we spoke about this on past occasions. What exactly does the moon do? It gives you a little bit of light in the dark night. So it's not really illuminating the night. Not like the sun illuminates the day. So we have to think of the sun and the moon a little differently. The sun doesn't make it light outside because there is a light independent of the sun. The light that God created on the first day of creation before the sun was in its orbit. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Then God said, "Let the sun shine during the day when it's light." So it's not the sun that makes the light. The sun shines during the light. And of course, the moon doesn't make the darkness. It shines during the darkness. So what does that mean? In a romantic sense, the sun gives you the insight to appreciate the value and the virtues of light. The moon enables you to have an insight into the beauty and the value of darkness. So the moon doesn't chase away the darkness, it just lets you see how beautiful the darkness is. Light and dark means revealed and hidden. We live in two worlds. We live in a hidden world and we live in a revealed world. There are things we can see, we can hear. There's a certain level of sound that we can hear. Anything lower than that, we don't hear. Anything higher than that, we don't hear. So the part that we hear, that's the revealed part. But there are many more sounds that we don't hear. That's concealed. There are certain wavelengths of light that we can see, and then there are wavelengths of light that we don't see. But they're very real. And we're affected by it. On a more human level, speech reveals to the other what you're thinking. But thinking doesn't reveal anything to the other. That's hidden. So your thoughts are your hidden world. Your words are your revealed world. So when God said, "Let there be light," okay, that's what he said. What was he thinking? That's not revealed. Not that we shouldn't know it, but to get to know it, You have to use other faculties, not your eyes. So you can get to know what God was thinking, but you're not going to see it with your eyes because it's part of the hidden world. And that's why God does nothing but good. And yet we see some of it and we don't see the rest. And when we don't see the good, we call it bad. So there's two forms of good happening in the world: the good that we see and the good that is concealed. But no less good, maybe even greater good. Like there are sounds that we don't hear, not because they're too low and weak, but because they're too strong. And there are wavelengths of light that we don't see, not because they're feeble, but because they're too powerful. So there is certain good that God does for us that we don't see because it's too good, that we have to get to understand. We're not going to see it with our eyes. The way we're supposed to be living, unlike the animal, we're supposed to live by what we know rather than what we see and hear. To some degree, that's what science is all about. Science means I see what I see and I hear what I hear. I can touch what I touch. But what else is there that I'm not seeing, I'm not hearing, and I can't touch it? That's science. You don't have studies and classes and professors who will tell you what you see. Nobody needs to tell me what I see. Someone needs to tell me what I don't see or what I don't hear or what I can't touch. So there's the world of the senses. That's the revealed world. And then there's what we understand about life. That's the concealed world. And that's why you have to seek it out. You have to think it out. You have to be mindful because you're not going to see it, taste it, touch it, hear it, or smell it. So when we say we should live a mindful life, a thoughtful life, a purposeful life, what we mean is get to know what is not revealed. Discover the rest of reality that you can't experience through your senses. That's called intelligence. You don't need intelligence to taste things. You don't need intelligence to touch and know what you're touching. You don't need intelligence to know what you see or what you hear. I mean, minimal amount of intelligence. Real human intelligence that is way beyond the realm of the animal is the ability to see what cannot be experienced. It's called abstract thought. Abstract means the senses won't tell me. So, for example, the entire subject of God, the creator, is an abstract idea. You don't see him, But if you do a little detective work, if you look for the clues, you will find him. Not because he's less real than what we see, but because he's more real. Purpose of life. Purpose of life is not something you can touch, not something you can weigh, not something you can see. It's an abstract reality. So there are the physical sciences, the scientist who weighs things, tests things at different temperatures, measures things, creates a telescope to be able to see further, or a microscope to be able to see smaller. This is all very intelligent, but it's not abstract. But when you get to the purpose of life, when you get to who created all of this, that's truly abstract knowledge. That's getting to know the hidden world. So the hidden world is not magical, mystical. It's just the part of reality that you can discover with your intelligence, not with your senses. That kind of intelligence an animal does not have. The animal's senses are greater than our own. They hear better. They see better, some of them. They have a more delicate sense of touch, some of them. They can feel an earthquake long before we do. So their senses are more acute than ours, but they're stuck. They're limited to the world of senses. Oh, they can certainly smell better than we do, like bloodhounds. So, what makes us different from the animal is the ability to discover simple truths and reality, but not through the senses. So, when we talk about God, the purpose of creation, the soul, and people say, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. No one has ever seen a soul. No one ever heard a soul. No one ever saw God. So, what are you saying? That if you don't see it, it's not real? Or less real? There are scents that we cannot pick up, but a bloodhound can. So, are those scents not real because I can't smell it? Real enough for a dog to smell? It's just that we use different tools for different parts of reality. For the visible, the revealed, we use our senses. For the concealed, we use our mind. They're both very real. This is why we study Torah, why we're so hung up on knowledge and understanding and wisdom, because without it, we would be missing out on more than half of all of reality. And that's why it's exciting to think about things we've never seen. You believe that there is life on other planets? Fascinating. We've never seen other forms of life. And maybe we'll never be able to see it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So the ideas are fascinating, intriguing, stimulating to the mind. That's very different from the closed mindedness of, oh, I never heard that, so I'm not interested. I've never seen anything like that, so I'm not interested. On the contrary, if there is more to reality than what my eye can see, I really want to know about it. If there's more to reality than I have heard or can hear, I want to know about it. Now I'm being fully human when I pursue the awareness and the knowledge of things unseen. So, what does it mean to find a meaningful life? To live with meaning, to be thoughtful. It means discover what else there is besides the obvious. And that puts us in a completely different realm from the rest of the world, different from the mineral, the vegetable, the animal. We have a completely different experience. You can call it soulful. It's a matter of soul rather than body or senses. You can call it philosophical. You can call it spiritual. But what they're all saying is there's more to the world and there's more to us than our senses tell us. That's what enables us to be more than human. That curiosity, that openness to things beyond our senses is what enables us to have a relationship, even from a distance, like parents who somehow sense what's going on with their children from the other side of the ocean. You can call it intuition, you can call it premonition, but where does that happen? Not in our senses, in the other part of us, the part that is not obvious. So you might say that that is the moon part, the moon that lets you see what is not seeable, lets you appreciate what you're not seeing, the benefits of not seeing. Like noticing what a person didn't say, which tells you more about the person than what they did say. So, in that realm, there is room for extrasensory experiences, premonition, intuition, faith. There's more to us and there's more to the world than the senses. But that begins with thoughtfulness, the curiosity that says, so what else is there? I see what I see, I hear what I hear, I taste what I taste, but what else is there? Or to reduce it to a very simple equation, the human being's tendency to ask why. Our senses tell us a lot about what. What does this taste like? What does that look like? What does that sound like? But why? Oh, now you're getting abstract because your senses don't tell you why. Now you're digging deep, or at least starting to dig. Why are things the way they are? Or why are they in the first place? Not why is water wet, but why is there water? Not what makes the world go round, but why is there a world? That is a thoughtful existence. And mostly it leads to good things. The senses are not always so reliable. A person who sees well and hears well is going to be a good person. Flip a coin. He may not be. It has nothing to do with it. If you have a keen sense of smell, does that make you a better person? No. But once you start asking why, you are becoming a better person, even before you find the answer. When you ask why, you are being thoughtful. If you ask what, you're not getting past the visible world. You're just curious about what you're seeing, but you're not going beyond it. Beyond it would mean, why does it exist at all? Where did it come from? So you're not taking it for granted, and you don't really want to know more about it. You want to know something about its creator, its origins, its purpose. That's abstract. That's thoughtful. That's purposeful. If you enjoyed this conversation or this topic and you're looking for more information, or you want to hear it again from another angle, there's a way to do that. And that is in this book. It's all there. Order it from Amazon. You can read it, reread it, and share it. These ideas, these messages, this approach to life, this approach to Torah, to meaning, and to morals is vital for the world today. And we need to get this message out to the entire world. It is universal, it's essential, it's indispensable. To support this effort, if you want to be a partner in this crime, check out the link and make a donation. It really helps a lot. And thank you in advance.